unless you've survived mental, psychological, or emotional abuse. You have no idea what it's like making it through that type of torment. You really need to experience it for yourself to understand that you're dealing with the aftermath of people who decided to create that discard and specifically designed to torment and isolate its victim, all while planning for them hits to keep on coming. And in my case, it was designed to absolutely take me out. And yes, I mean all the way out. And this is somehow yet what the state of Minnesota is actually defending. Not the victims, but the victimizers. They're abusers. Simply because they either want to just remain blind to it, or they themselves are siding with the very demonic as people who would be avoidant of that type of dialogue. And you already know, they couldn't have handled what you have gone through, so they simply start to do the same thing and ignore that type of emotional overflow of what true emotional intelligence looks like. But you understand what it's like to be made in that kind of victim, to be able to maybe even be able to use 3, 7, or 12% of your brain's capacity because of what these people had done to you. And still you choose to fight. So when you're able to get that 70, 80, 90% capacity back, and they simply discard you, you'll never know what it's like to deal with that. They'll just initialize that kind of insinuation to be like, oh, you think you have some kind of story to tell. And it is because you've survived something very deep. So they'll invalidate you at all costs necessary to simply be the biggest cowards you've ever known. And this is exactly what's being protected in the world today. So I need you to really realize what your worth is and why you're absolutely needed in this world. Because people will simply do that. They'll poison you and they'll kick you around. And then there'll be the people around that'll simply use that beat up version of you as though your reactions out of that is the real you. When it's just not true. The real you is simply seeing beyond the facade of what these characters play. And it's the same facade that they've been playing on for years, year after year. Psychologically draining your spirit because that's just how wonderful that they think that they are. And they think it's okay to get away with this kind of mistreatment of you. And then, as these malignant narcissists do, they work up for a total place to discard you, to give you the silent treatment, and to just go ghost. But you see it, that's flat out abuse. And in this world somehow, it's not only being encouraged, but it's being supported. It's all based on this demonic that likes to curse people and put people into this social isolation and a sheer desolation, and to continue to go to work to make sure you're flat out isolated from everybody. But you need to know that this isn't an isolated incident. And when they're drawing you up into reactionary abuse, that reactionary abuse doesn't entail who you actually are. It holds no real value here. There's no real estate. So these brokers who want to flat out break people are the very fraudulent people. Just trying to make a buck on all of your hard work, and all while making sure that your worth gets completely depleted. It doesn't matter if they're trying to take a person's very fragmented and poisoned up reality and then try to blame them for their reactions, while having no emotional stability or availability of them own selves to even know that they've been being an unwitting victim. So then these people who play in this way just have no emotional stability or availability to even realize that these things can be played out this way. No, they can't even understand that things like this could even take place. So just know that if they get away with that emotional disregard of your emotional self or your emotional intelligence, it doesn't suggest to, and it shouldn't suggest to anybody that these people are somehow a winner when they're flat out losers. It means that they can't even see that there's work here that needs to be done inside of the world to leave for any kind of emotional availability of themselves, to even suggest to it. So it's no wonder they work in positions like they do. They like to and need to be in places of control, and to isolate its victims even that much more than they've already known for many, many years. And that's sad. So know your worth. Know that you deserve better than to be discarded from a whole bunch of emotionally unavailable people, let alone people who could do whatever they could do and make possible in order to torment you in the worst ways. You're worth more, and you're worth better. So I guess I'm that type of man that believes that these emotionally unavailable people can work up in ways to work out crimes, to leave victims completely desolate, while your whole reality gets destroyed. Your whole mind's capacity might get completely ruined. Because this is how Satanists' agenda works. This is how these occultists actually work. I guess it somehow pays them to be completely emotionally unavoidant. Or I mean, just avoidant in general, not unavoidant. So they show a character of someone who's just completely unavailable emotionally. They have no emotional stability at all. So if that's what it takes to be a man in this world, then I can actually say that I'm scared for what this world has to hold on to. Because there's hardly anyone who's emotionally available in any way to any real crimes out here, if they could even see one for what it is. Instead of being forced out, and instead of being the type of people who are emotionally regulated enough to actually help those people who are hurting, they instead perform these crimes. That's no manliness. That's straight up cowardice. And if you ask me, it's much worse than any words I can use to suggest to it here. And in my case, personally, it was designed to use these very facets of government and other agencies in order to work up this very regulated crime. That these people have zero emotional values. They're simply out of control in their morality. So I'll be the first to say there's nothing to be revered. There's nothing to look up to in that type of action and activity, because the same type of power structure that was supposed to protect people in these crimes are now working complicit right along with these crimes. So they can't stop a crime from happening. I'm starting to doubt that they could see a crime for what it is, even if they were staring right at it. But I guess that would mean that they'd have to stare at themselves in their own mirrors. So if you can create out here online to affect those hearts to do better, do that. Because they absolutely need that kind of reality check from, they're much written about higher power or God or however they want to see fit, but they do. They need a whole swift kick in the ass type of reality check. So pull out them mirrors and get them demons aggravated. Because there's not enough people who are emotionally strong enough to do that anymore these days. But the facts are clear. Look around you for a change of pace, and you'll see this type of abuse is everywhere. I mean, everywhere, man. So do that. Pull out that mirror and place that very demonic right in front of that mirror. And if you've done that, or if you've lived through that type of curse against you, I'm proud of you. Keep going. Keep showing up. You're the true strength that this world needs. And after what you've been through, even if you can't regulate those emotions right now, or you can't figure out the words to articulate it, I'm proud of you. You're the very strength that this world needs to see. So keep showing up for yourself. Keep being that strength. And if that kind of emotional strength gets you killed in this world, let the hell be bestowed upon those that think that they're going to get away with this type of crime. Let them freak out about God's wrath. And if they don't have any kind of vision to understand what that might be like, help them see it. They don't have to believe it. They don't even have to have the moral capacity to be able to see it. But just know this, my friend. They will be dealt with accordingly to their worldliest of ways, and they aren't going to feel too good in the end about any of it. So for right now, just you focused on being strong. Keep getting up. I know it's hard. And sometimes I know it. You're just making it through the night just to hope to see another day. And that's no life. Trying to figure out if you're just gonna make it. So trust me. I know that that's not what true life would have ever had to look like. So if people can see it for what it is, paint it. Draw it up. Do whatever you have to do to keep waking up. And keep fighting to see that next day. You got this, my friend. And no matter what you're going through, just know this. I'm proud of you. And no, fam, you have to understand, I'm very, very proud of you. You keep showing up where others won't. So you keep going, and you keep showing up. Because